Alright, so it is spoiler season, and we have our first batch of cards to reveal and review. I'm going to go over them one at a time, talk about them, maybe do a little bit of theory crafting, and also probably give a general rank of like how powerful I think they're going to be. This will actually be my first time seeing these cards, so it's going to be a first impression and also initial reaction. I am blind to these. I know like which cards are in, like I've seen a couple of the champions on Twitter, not by choice, but I don't know what they do. I have purposely stayed blind to all the abilities. I think it might be important to look at Draven first. Let's look at the legends first. That sounds more fun. Let's do the legends and then we'll start at the top after that. Are these all the cards? I feel like there were so much more when people were talking about them on Twitter, but this could be all of them. US card gallery. Let me do a little refresh. So far? All right. So we have Draven, the Glorious Executioner, coming in at a red-purple color combo. Very simply, when you win a combat, draw 1. You win if only your units remain after combat. So this is attack or defense, it looks like, when you win a combat, just in general. For the most part, this is going to be occurring when you are conquering a battlefield, not when you're entering an unopposed one, because if you just enter freely, then that doesn't count. Also, I'm just now noticing I have to fix this a little bit. Okay, now we're good. You have to initiate a combat showdown and you have to win it. But this is pretty good. Obviously, you're going to be getting this off on average, what, like 4 to 6 times a game? Possibly more? Because I'm trying to think of like when you are scoring points, a lot of the time you are entering an unopposed one, you're holding points, things like that. So how many times are you actually going to conquer and how many times are you going to defend? Probably a good amount. Yeah. This will pay dividends. You will get a lot of card draw just innately from having this guy as your legend. That's really good. Next legend. I'm going to skip Spinning Axe. I'm going to go back to it. Next legend is Irelia as a green purple. When you choose a friendly unit, you may exhaust me and pay a recycle to ready it. When you conquer, you may pay 1 tap rune to ready me, the legend card. When you choose a friendly unit, you may exhaust me and pay a recycle to ready it. So that's pretty good. That's like hyper aggressive, which is interesting for, again, green purple. And when you conquer, you may... Okay, so this actually benefits Yasuo, his purple champion unit. Good for Kayn, stuff like that too. Anything with move synergy. You basically just get to move stuff around. It's like Blade Surging from Legends of Runeterra. And if you successfully conquer, you can tap 1 mana and you can do it again. Basically getting like a chain effect over the course of a turn. If you have a lot of mana, you can do like really strong like tempo plays. It just keeps itself going. I actually really like effects like this that are multi-layered, so you can get the benefit of one or the other, and they also work well together, so the layers start stacking. Like lasagna, you know what? Irelia is good lasagna. That's my take. So I'm thinking so far Draven is going to be very good. Irelia, depending on the units that are put in the game, also really good. I see a lot of potential for both of these legends. Okay, Emperor of the Sands, coming in at green-yellow, which makes absolutely no sense. Azir is quite literally the least calm guy I know in League of Legends. Brother is red incarnate. He should be red-yellow, coupled with the fact that Sun Disc is a red card. It's red. Why did they make him green? It doesn't make sense. He can't even play Sun Disc. Whatever, dude. For his ability, your sand soldiers have Weaponmaster, so you can equip them. For free? Well, for cheap, I think. I actually have to look at the Weaponmaster tag again. They briefly covered it in the video that we just watched, but I didn't actually read. Card gamers don't read. So that's just like an innate passive. It's online all the time. Your sand soldiers have Weaponmaster. Now, he also has an active legend ability. You tap 1 rune, you tap him, and you play a singular 2 Might Sand Soldier unit token to your base. Use only if you've played an equipment this turn. So they made him a Weaponmaster deck. That's really interesting. Very different than how he plays in Legends of Runeterra. They really want him to equip, unequip, equip, unequip, that kind of stuff. Okay. That's really interesting. So they're going to be using him as like the premier use of this new mechanic. So if you want to play Weaponmasters, you want to play equipment, you might as well play Azir, because he's going to do it really well. Okay. Next, we have Renata Glasc, which I did not see coming. I don't think anyone saw coming. She's the blue-yellow? I could have sworn this is going to be Ezreal, because we know that Ezreal's in the next set. We just don't know what colors he is. And blue-yellow makes so much sense for him. And they don't make any sense for her, really. I think she would be blue-purple, given her lore. I have no idea what's going on. True, Seavold, we did get Azir Irelia in the same set. And their champion units can be played together. I don't know if there's any synergy there, but since they share green, you can technically play Azir Irelia and Riftbound in some form. Don't know if it's good yet. Renata Glasc, Chem Baroness. When you or an ally hold, you may exhaust me to play a gold gear token exhausted. And I did see what the gold gear token is. It gives you a recycle cost, which is really nice. While your score is within 3 points of the victory score, your gold adds an additional 1 tappable mana to pay for costs. So it's just resource Andy. She's just rich. But I mean, that's really good for blue and yellow, because since she shares the same color combo as Victor, you can kind of do the same things, but now with a different coat of paint. So instead of token swarm, you can kind of like get a hold, right? Try to get ahead, and then you can just play grand stratagem on a couple dudes. Again, you're not going to get the dudes as well as Victor can, or you can just kind of ramp into Watcher and just win with like the really strong top end that inherently exists within blue-yellow and have the econ to get there. That's all she is. Alright, moving on to the last revealed legend so far. There's going to be 12 new ones, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little under half. We have Sivir with orange and purple. So on my video, I had theorized that this is going to be Thresh. I'm very disappointed that it isn't. Maybe Thresh still has potential to get in, but what I am seeing so far is a distinct lack of Spirit Blossom in the Spirtforged set. Unfortunately, I don't know where the theming is with this set so far, but there are still many more cards for them to reveal, so I could change my mind. The theming is just a little bit off to me. It's a little jarring to see Sivir, Renata Glasc. Azir Legend is fine, but mainly these two in a Spirtforged set. I don't really get it, but that's okay. When you recycle a rune, you may exhaust me to play a gold gear token exhausted. When one or more units die, ready me. Okay, so she's kind of similar to Kaisa in a way. You're just doing it differently. So she is also going to be resource focused. When you recycle a rune, you may exhaust me to play a gold gear token exhausted. So you can get the recycle back later, essentially. Almost like generating seals, right? When one or more units die, ready me. She's interesting, especially with orange-purple. I really want to see her champion units. It's giving that Thanos meme. Look what they have to do to mimic a fraction of my power. And it's Kaisa. Kaisa's Thanos. Alright, now we can actually talk about the units. Yeah, let's look at the alt art. Alright, so he is a 4 mana 4 might unit. For Legends Runeterra players, this translates to a 4 mana 4/4. Since might is your damage and your health at the same time, this one number just denotes both, so he's a 4/4. When I win a combat, play a gold gear token exhausted. We know what that is. When I attack or defend, you may pay a red recycle. If you do, give me 2 might this turn. This is already the first time that we have 2 different champion units of the same color being in the game, because Red Draven already existed, and he's kind of like an aggro win more card. So it's interesting that we also have this Draven. We got multi-Dravens here. But yeah, Ruined Draven is ice. He looks really good. When I win a combat, play a gold gear token exhausted. Cool. When I attack or defend, you may... I get what they're doing. This is one of those self-reliant, self-synergistic cards. You win the combat with them, and then you have a free gold that goes to your field or to your base. And then, like, let's say someone comes in to attack your battlefield, you can just pay this and then get +2. So he's parading as a 4 might unit, but that's not technically true. If you're playing him right, he's a 6 might unit. Also, I'm pretty sure this effect is repeatable by the way it's worded. When I attack or defend, you may pay a red recycle. If you do, give me +2 this turn. I'm pretty sure you can do this multiple times. I'm pretty sure if you want to, you can just recycle your entire rune field and get this guy to like 12. That is epic. But you're always getting 1 for free. So he's only 4 when it comes to being in the base and being vulnerable, like getting shot by removal. Otherwise, he is definitely 6 might plus. So let me do a quick recap and overall rating. I think Draven is going to be very good. I think Irelia is going to be very good. I think Azir kind of depends on how good the weapons are. So he scales directly with how strong equipment is, just as a concept. And I think Renata is going to be good. And I think Sivir is going to be okay. I need to see her champion units. Do we cover Axe? That's a good transition because I just talked about Draven. Sure, let's talk about his signature equipment. Not a signature spell, not a signature unit. We have our first signature equipment here. Quick Draw. So this has reaction. When you play it, attach it to a unit you control. So you can pay its cost, and then you can play it during a chain, essentially. And it's a +3. That's huge. Attach this to a unit you control for 1 recycle. So I'm thinking the way this works, because like the reason this is differentiated, this reaction, blah, 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 equip. If you only have to spend a recycle to attach this, what's going on with this cost here? Do you have to do both? I'm a little confused by this. And then also temporary. If this is unattached, kill it at the start of its controller beginning phase before scoring. Because it's a gear, I'm assuming you can put it in your base. And that's what you're paying this cost for. Right? I could be completely off the mark, but that's like the way my mind makes this make sense is you pay 2, you recycle 1, you put it in your base, there it is. And if it stays in your base, it will be destroyed during your next turn. However, all you have to do is recycle 1, and you can attach it directly to a unit you control, even at reaction speed. So it's very cheap. This lets you skip the entire, oh, put it in your base first and then put it on a dude, because you can also do that. You can just attach it directly. That's what this is trying to convey. Now the wording is a little weird, but again, I'm working through it one thing at a time to try to make it make sense, and I think that's how it works. But it's a +3 might to whoever it is equipped to, and that's very strong. Especially if you can do it at reaction speed. That's crazy. Yeah, it's like Draven picking up and catching his axes. Very cool translation. To be honest, thematically, they did a really good job with Draven. He looks and feels very much like Draven in League. So kudos. Alright, Longsword. So quick draw. This has reaction. When you play it, attach it to a unit you control, and you can recycle a red to attach it to a unit you control. However, you can also put it in your base and like have it sit there for a while because it is a gear. But you can also just equip it directly to something you already have. I get it. I think I get it. I love the flavor text. Efforts to create the longer sword quickly ran into diminishing returns. It's already too long. Any longer, it's redundant, guys. It's getting too long here. He's pulling his longsword out! So that's it for longsword. It's very basic. I'm pretty sure they intended this to be vanilla on purpose. I'm assuming that we're going to see equipment removal within the set. We have to. They cannot just give us a bunch of equipment and then have no counterplay, because this already looks like a very strong mechanic. So this is very simple. A Doran shield, 1 tappable mana. Attach this to a unit you control. You cannot do this one at reaction speed, you see? That's the difference. So you can tap 1 to put it in your base, and then you can recycle a green to attach it to a unit. Yeah, it's kind of booty. It's another vanilla equipment to like get you to understand and get you started. It's obviously going to be power crept in the future. Oh, it's power crept right now. Thumbs up emoji. 2 runes, you tap them, recycle a green to attach it. If I would die, kill Guardian Angel instead. Heal me, exhaust me, and recall me. So it's like Zhonya's, but different. Little lifesaver. I think that's pretty good. It also gives +1. Something I didn't mention is that down here in Doran's shield, it does have tank. It's decent. Well, this one has flavor text, so it's important to look at because they're putting the important effects and also the flavor text in the same box, which is a little interesting for clarity, but pause for concern. See, there you go. So Sterak's Gage is 3 runes, recycle 2 greens. You can play this one as a reaction. Obviously, anyone that has a reaction is going to be innately stronger because you can use it, surprise, out of nowhere, and also on your defense turns, whereas you can't do that with the other ones. You can only equip Guardian Angel on your own turn, but it's a powerful effect, so that's the trade-off. So this is just a raw +3? That's it? That's all it does? Okay, for that much, that's ridiculous. Quick draw. This has reaction. When you play it, attach it. Huh. Yeah, so what it looks like is you pay for its cost once, and then it just attaches it if you do reaction. This is if it's already in base. I really want to see it played out, so I have the visualization of how the mechanic works. I don't think it matters either way that I'm thinking about it. The difference is like one little step. But like there's not a lot of clarity innately. I kind of want to watch and see how it works. But this is a lot of runes for just +3. It's a permanent buff, so you have to think about the constant value that it can generate. But in general, you're paying like 2 runes for a +2 most of the time. So this is 3 runes and you're recycling 2 to have an additional 1 and it gets to keep it. Okay, so this is how it works. If your card keeps Sterak's Gage and it wins the combat, awesome, it did its job. Now, if it maintains a hold, it is now net gaining. If it wins more than 1 combat, it's net gaining. If it successfully deters the opponent from being able to do something because your unit has Sterak's, it's net gaining. These are the scenarios you're going to want to find yourself in. And when you do, you'll be optimizing something like this. Now, when will it be net negative? Let me tell you. It's when your unit gets removed regardless. So if it gets shot by something, especially something that's non-conditional, like let's say Vengeance, some kind of like generic kill spell, then you just lost all your value because your unit would have died regardless, and you spent a lot of runes to not do anything extra. So think of it like that. It's going to be a bit of a resource game, but this card will definitely pay dividends in certain matchups, and if it's not dealt with. I also kind of want to know what happens if your unit gets recalled to your hand. What happens to the equipment? Does it go back to your base as a gear, or does it get discarded to the trash? Because that opens up a lot more counterplay. So those are my thoughts on Sterak's Gage. I feel like it is situationally very strong, but also situationally does nothing and you just paid a lot. Yeah, this one's clearly made for coins and also for Azir, because it is green. He is green, and they have Weaponmaster. Can I see a Weaponmaster? It says, when you play me, you may equip one of your equipments to me for 1 less recycle cost. When you play me. So this is coming from hand or coming from any effect that says play the unit. When you play me, you may equip one of your equipments to me, even if it's already attached. This kind of denotes that it needs to be in play as a gear already. So what you would want to do is play out your gear. Like let's say, for example, you put Guardian Angel into your base. Actually, let's not do Guardian Angel. It doesn't have a recycle. Let's do Longsword. Longsword is in your base already because you set it up a turn prior as a gear. Then you play Lucian, and you can equip this for free because you already paid its cost to put it into play. Normally, you would have to pay a red recycle, but you do not have to. You just equip it. Good. Get you, I get you. If another unit has something equipped, you can just add it to something with Weaponmaster. Apparently, that's what it looks like. When you play me, you may equip one of your equipment to me that's in play for 1 recycle less, even if it's already attached to something. Yeah, you can just yoink the weapon from something else. All right. Svellsongur. 3 energy, 1 power to put it into your base. Okay, this one is costly. This one, woof. This one takes your resources. As this is attached to a unit, copy that unit's text to this equipment's effect text for as long as this is attached to it. And it gives you a +0. So all you're doing is double dipping on a text effect, and that is going to be game breaking. There's already strong combos with this that I've seen. I've seen Green Ahri, of course, is the first one that comes to mind. So you get to double hold points, and you basically just ramp WinCon. There's also like Purple Yasuo can run this, right? I've seen it on Twitter. Now, this is one of those cards that you have to be careful when you're printing, because even if it's not broken right now, which it can already be kind of strong, there's a lot of combo potential, it is something you always have to worry about in the future. As more cards are printed, you have to now look at every single card you make and think about its text effect being copied if it has access to this card. So anything green. If it has access to this card, you now have to consider that this card exists moving forward, because it could literally break the game in an instant if it's left unchecked from a design standpoint. Behold, the first rotated card. That is funny. Yeah, this will have crazy combos. We already briefly covered Lucian. The first time I conquer each turn ready me, this guy's broken. Like, this guy is really, really, really strong. This is one of those early game pressure units that you can use to solo win you a game. If not directly, at least indirectly, because he will give you so much tempo so much momentum that by the time the opponent actually deals with him, you've already won, essentially. It won't be hard to close out from this position if you just utilize this guy properly. It's very strong. 3/3 in orange. Weaponmaster. The first time I conquer, ready me? Hello? You throw this guy into a windswept hillock? Well, all of a sudden, he can gank over to the other battlefield now. Like, that's a crazy swing. So yeah, he's gonna be strong. Longsword is okay. Doran shield is eh. Guardian Angel's good. Sterak's Gage, not sure. Svellsongur will depend on the combos. Lucian, definitely good. Alright. And this is his alternate art. Looks awesome. Noon. Lucian. Trinity Force. 4 runes. When I hold, score a point. Hello? This is basically the same thing as Svellsongur. If you put this on green Ahri, she will be +2. Very hard to remove. When I hold, score a point. And you can run that combo because there is green-orange in the game. So you can run green Ahri. You can't run it in Ahri, so you'd have to actually like hard draw her. She's not a chosen champion. You'd have to hard draw green Ahri, but then you can put Trinity Force on her. When I hold, you score 2 points if you pull off this combo. Now, if you put this on anything else, like aside from green Ahri, let's just assume you're throwing this onto like Lucian or something. Yeah, this is broken. This is kind of crazy. 4 is costly though. So you're going to be playing this like when your opponent has more options to deal with it. This is how like cost increasing works in card games, is the longer it takes for you to play your card, the more options the opponent has to deal with said card, because they have more runes, they have more cards in their hand, they have more resources. So it's not like consistent. Well, I mean, it's consistent, but it is interactable, you know? It can be dealt with. And if it is, you go behind a lot because you pay a lot for this. Yeah, exactly. This can be like a combo and hold card. It's actually defensive by nature because of its effect. So this is going to be probably more for like a mid-range style deck that wants to secure a battlefield and then hunker down. Seems pretty good for like a ramp Master Yi with the ability to get runes at an accelerated pace. You put this on the simplest unit, you're getting your benefit from it. You're getting your benefit from Master Yi's Legend passive. You have Defy, you have Wind Wall, you have Discipline, you have On Guard. You can just make a one-man army style strategy, hold that battlefield, and you will win the game. Very good for Master Yi, actually. So you don't think this card is great? Okay, you might be right. Its design is inherently win more. The thing is, win more is broken. Win more in this game is really, really good. You actually want win more cards. Mid-range Ahri functions solely on win more and keep your opponent behind. So that's why I think this card is situationally broken. I don't think this is an auto-include in every orange strategy, but when utilized in the correct orange strategy, like Ramp Yi, now this card is broken. This is not going to be that great in like Set, for example, because like he can sit there and he can hunker, but he doesn't have ways to protect himself. Only like buffs. Whereas if you're playing green-orange and you have access to Defy, and it's already really hard for your opponent to remove your dudes, I mean, this is just... they might as well scoop. But it's only in that deck that I'm seeing off the top of my head. I actually can't see this being that great in most other strategies. I do think I need to see more, obviously. I need to see things that are like Lucian. I need to see Weaponmasters. I need to see things that synergize with Sivir that will help Trinity Force make sense for the new stuff. As for the stuff that we already have in Origins, the only deck I can see Trinity Force being utilized is Master Yi. Okay, so this is win more in the sense it doesn't advance the board in your favor. Yes, it does because it's a buff. This game is weird. All right, Riftbound is very, very weird. So the board is being buffed because your unit at the battlefield is getting +2, and it's pressuring the opponent to come fight on your terms. They have to enter your battlefield and sacrifice a lot to do so. And if they come to do that to you, and you have a singular card in your hand that outplays it, you will win the game outright. It's a defensive blowout, and it sucks because it puts your opponent into a lose-lose situation where they will lose because you will score points while you're holding, and you will win the game because that's the win con. It's mana inefficient. The lucky thing is, orange has ramp. And you're also getting 2 mana a turn. Don't forget that. You're not getting 1 mana a turn. You get 2. But I definitely agree with you guys in any other situation. Trinity Force is not doing enough for its cost. I agree with you. I'm only saying in the context of Ramp Master Yi, which is an S tier deck already, this card is not only playable, but I think is good there. I would never play this in Set, I don't think. set does not care. Because you have to think about the layers of benefits that this card gives. You have to check some boxes. Is this good for this? Yes or no? Is it good for this aspect of what your deck is trying to do? Yes or no? This checks all the boxes for Master Yi. This only checks like one box for Set or another orange strategy. Now I want to see more for Sivir, so that way I can check more boxes for her. Alright, so that's how that one works. We only got 2 cards left. Overzealous Fan, aka Draven's biggest fan. So sad with this rename. He is 2 runes, 2 might. When I defend, you may kill me to move an attacking unit to its base. Oh. Yeah, this is a terrible rename, I hate that. When I defend, kill me to move an attacking unit to its... Very purple, okay? I'm gonna say it right now. This card embodies purple perfectly. This is some shenanigans. Purple is a very gimmicky region, and it's gonna do shit that's really weird. When I defend, alright, kill me, and then you send the attacker back to base. That way you can trade favorably. It's kind of an annoying wall if you think about it, because if someone is coming in with 2 units, and one unit has like 2 might, and the other unit has 10, well, you can kill your Overzealous Fan and put the 10 might unit back in the base. So this guy is actually kind of a must remove, or you have to think a lot more when attacking a battlefield that has him in it. He's just an inconvenience, but a necessary inconvenience. Also, he's a 2-cost card, which is incredibly powerful. Exactly. He does get outplayed by Go Wide. If you just swarm with a bunch of recruit tokens, obviously his effect diminishes greatly. Equipment counter, that's a good point. If something comes in equipped, you can just send it back to their base. Don't have to worry about it. Sounds like a trade rage bait? Exactly, yes it is. This guy is a rage bait. And also, again, 2 costs are just so valuable. And I think purple did need a new 2 cost. What's nice is that he is generically powerful with this effect and versatile. And he's okay without it. So he can be played vanilla as just a 2/2 and you are happy. Now, if you get his effect off and it annoys the opponent, W rage bait. He gets value. Yeah, he's a blocker that bounces, exactly. He doesn't bounce back to hand, though. He just puts him back in base. If they have an ability to, like, ready themselves, they can attack again. So that's why this card might not be good, like, late game. But I feel like the first couple turns, he's actually a pretty annoying wall. Alright. And finally, we have Blade of the Ruined King. 3 energy, 1 power. It grants 4 might to its equipped unit. However, you have to recycle an additional yellow and kill a friendly unit to pay the cost. That's a good thing. Y'all know, I forgot what it's called in Legends of Runeterra, but it's the 1-mana weapon that you have to kill something and then equip this to something else. Obviously, this has synergy with the on-death effects in the game. You're going to want to kill something that gets a benefit from dying, and then you're just like double value. Literally buy one, get one free. But if you have to, you can just kill something you don't care about. So like, let's say a vanilla token of some kind, whatever. You can then put this on your other dude, and it's +4, which is pretty strong. But again, you're going to get the most value out of this card when you are killing something that wants to die. Anything with an on-death effect is called Death Knell in this game. Very simple effect. We've seen it in many forms. But, I mean, even raw, a +4 is really good. Yeah, it's crazy with tokens, and tokens... You know what's crazy about this? Tokens and also death effects are premium in yellow. That's where they are mainly localized. So this has innate synergy. Because yellow in this game is kind of like mixing Demacia and Shadow Isles together. And that's everything. I feel like, yeah, that's a good card. I would say the overall power that I'm seeing from just this first batch of cards, we're looking like we're power creeping. This is strong. These are strong effects, strong units, strong weapons, strong legends. Overall, I would say they're not only going to make a splash, but they are going to shift the meta entirely.